Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Greg Gomez III, founder, CEO, MLMBusinessBlueprint.com, with another morning marketing tip to help you improve the performance of your home-based business, adding up to dozens of people every week, and getting you walking across stage, getting recognition with those huge, ridiculously oversized checks, and with a bunch of commas in them, and doing great things. Okay, today's morning marketing tip is really all about something that I experienced and I learned as a result of attending a couple of events recently, some live events. And one of the big breakthroughs that I had, and I'll just tell you, there was a coaching group offer that was made available, and it was a pretty pricey coaching group offer. And a lot of folks were resistant to signing up for it because, you know, they justified it with the price point. And what I wound up doing is I have this objection handling process that I go through, and it really helps me to understand at the core of what people are fearful of or what their hesitations really are based in. And of course, everyone threw, when I asked them, you know, why didn't you sign up for the program? Because there were a few folks I was pretty surprised. They were talking about that's exactly what they were looking for, and then they made it available to them. It was a pretty steep price point, but well worth everything that they were going to receive. It wasn't my program, it was somebody else's at a buddy of mine's. And at any rate, I asked them, I said, you know, you didn't join. What happened? Why not? And they told me it was because of the price point. Well, through my objection handling process, I set that aside. I said, okay, let's assume for a second that's not an issue. I can probably get it worked out. I'm going to go see the guy later on. He's a good friend of mine. We're going to hang out at his house tonight. If we can get that worked out, I mean, is that something that you want to do? If I can, you know, have him break out a payment plan for you that's going to work for you. And after I isolated that money was the only issue, and I overcame their obstacle for them so they could get started, then the fear really rose in their eyes, like, oh my goodness, he's going to really make this possible for me to do. And it wasn't the money. It turned out that it wasn't the money as an issue. It turned out to be this deep in-rooted fear, and it showed manifestations in several different ways, most of which is I'm not ready for success, I don't feel prepared for success, I don't feel worthy of success. And you know, it really forced me to look inside at myself, because a lot of the things that we look at, even I don't care if it's your first day in a network marketing business and you're completely clueless on what to do. I don't care if you're an established leader who's just struggling to figure out how to get their team members to take more action. I don't care if you're a multiple 6- or 7-figure earner who's built and established his businesses, how to be able to take that to a 10-figure, to even 100 or an 8-figure or 9-figure business over the course of the next few years. There's this one thing that we all have in common that stops us from focusing and getting to where we want to be, and that is fear. And I really want you to understand this. We all have fear in one form or another. You can lie to yourself and say that you don't have it, but the reality is that you do. If you're human and you breathe oxygen, then obviously that you do have fears. And the reality is, and the way to overcome these is to identify and acknowledge the fear. Fear has many manifestations. There's procrastination, there's blame, shame, justification is a big one for fear. You're justifying why you're not taking actions because of whatever reason. And the reality is that it really comes down to inactivity. I can't because of blah, you fill in the blank. And it really looks at, you know, here's how you identify this. You know, where are you now? Where do you want to be in your business? And what do you feel is the biggest thing stopping you from getting that done? And you can say leads and contacts and closing processes and lead generation systems and you know, just I need the right prospects. I was on a coaching call the other day with a couple of clients of mine, or some students who are in a weight loss program. And for them, I said, okay, so where are you now? Where do you want to be? And what do you feel is you need to get there? Well, to break through to the next level, I need the volume. I said, okay, let's work backwards from that. So in order to get the volume, what do you need? Well, I need people. Okay, well, in order to get people, what do you need before that? Well, I need leads. Okay, well, in order to get leads, what do you need? I need to understand how to do this activity. I need to know what to do in order to generate leads. Okay, and before you need the activity in order to generate the leads, have you ever studied that? Well, yeah, I mean, they had my course on how to generate leads. Cool, so you have a course on how to generate those leads. What is it now that's keeping you from getting time? Okay, further back than that, time. How much time do you have? We went through this whole scenario. Where's the time at? Found where the time was. I said, okay, so now that you know where the time is, what is stopping you from getting it done? And it all rooted back, just to kind of cut through the process, fear of failure, fear of ridicule, fear of embarrassment in front of my family and friends, fear of, you know, not getting the results that I want. Fear of success is a big one. You know, if this works, I'm going to be entering into a whole new category of revenue and lifestyle, and are my friends going to accept that? Are my family members going to accept that? Good personal story here real quick. My wife, a couple of years ago, back in 2008, I bought her a new car for Mother's Day. On Mother's Day, I took her out. That was her gift. And I bought her a new vehicle. Well, we had discussed beforehand, because we talked a bit about, what kind of car do you want? She didn't want a Lexus. She didn't want a Mercedes-Benz. She didn't want these really high-profile, even a BMW. She didn't really want these high-profile name attachment vehicles that have, money attached to them. She wanted a vehicle that wasn't really, that was luxurious, but wasn't classified so much as a luxurious vehicle. And the real reason for this, the motivation behind this, was because of her fear of being judged by her family members. Because both she and I come from family members and family centers that their average income is not very high, and there's nothing wrong with that. But what winds up happening is we're embarrassed, or I know that I have been in the past, is concerned with being embarrassed about putting our wealth in front of folks, not wanting to show off, not wanting to seem gaudy or I don't know, just not specifically respectful of their situation. But it's that fear that kept us from being able to enjoy the lifestyle that I've worked hard, that we've both worked hard to accomplish. And so I bought her, I finally got her to the point, it's like, it doesn't matter what other people think of us. We have to be honest to ourselves. And we needed a new vehicle. We could afford to get a vehicle. There's no reason for us not to get a vehicle at that status. And so I bought her an M35X Infinity vehicle. And it had all the bells and whistles. It was the most expensive car pretty much on the lot. And that's the vehicle that I wound up getting her. And I tell you this story because I think it's an important point that, that we understand what these fears are and how they control our lives. There's the conscious fears, the things that we're aware of, but there's a lot of the unconscious fears that we have. Now, I'm doing something really special because this is, as a result of attending these events, what does this have to do with those events? As a result of attending these events, I've realized that we all have fears. We all have these things that stop us from getting through to, where we want to be in our businesses. And I know for me, I'm big on training. There are a lot of great mindset people out there, great Anthony Robbins. I think Jonathan Budd's probably one of the best mindset guys in our industry out there. And Jim Bunch is another guy that I really respect. I think he's got some great insights, and you guys should follow those folks as well. Here's the thing. With fear, I can provide the greatest, how-to content, and I do. I really go out of my way to create the most detailed blueprint on what it is you need to do in order to go from where you are now to the next stage and beyond. However, even with folks having that information and that training and that how-to, they still don't take action. And at the end of the day, what it comes down to for a majority of the folks that I talk to is it's fear. The reality is you probably already have a lot of the resources you need in order to go out there and start implementing and getting results in your businesses. Even some of the skill sets, at least some of the skill set trainings. But we don't do it. We buy these courses, set them on our shelves, and we don't take action on why. Because we bought it for hope, but we don't take action on it because of fear of failure, fear of losing money, fear of losing relationships, fear of not getting the results we want, or the ultimate fear, and my consideration is fear of success. What if it works? What do I lose as a result of getting it? It's just the fear of unknown. It's all rooted in fear. So again, the point of this, and the reason I'm bringing this up, is I've been on this mad, passionate search for my fears and identifying what those limiting factors are. And one of my big fears is handing stuff off and releasing control. I've been tackling that, being aware of it, and we've brought on more outsourcers, more team members in the last 2 months since discovering this than I have in the last 2 years combined. We have a huge team now of great people. It just like they flooded in at me, and now I'm outsourcing everything so that I can focus more on the content creation, really spend time with you and doing free trainings and paid trainings and all the other things that are necessary for me to share the stuff that I have with you. Well, in part of that, one of the people that I've come across is a gentleman by the name of Gary Cox, and he wrote a book. He's a best-selling author of a book by the name of Don't Let Others Rent Space in Your Head. And in talking with Gary, we had a really great relationship, really great conversation, and a lot of the stuff we were talking about resonates with each other about fear. Now, I'm so into this right now, and I believe it's such a core concept necessary for you to be as successful as you want to be, that I've actually worked out with him that we're going to do a teleseminar, or a webinar, I should say, together, and you can register and find the details below this video. So I would highly recommend that if you really want to know what it takes to get to the next stage. I can't tell you the impact that this has had on my business. Skill sets are extremely important, but I can give you all the skill sets in the world. If you don't have the fearlessness to go out and implement and take action on them, I mean, again, fearlessness does not mean you're without fear. It means you recognize your fear and take action anyways. That's where you need to be a successful entrepreneur. I fear, even talking with Jonathan Budd after his event, he had fears that I saw of certain things he wanted to do that he didn't want to do. And really, it wasn't, they were not really based in reality, in my opinion. It was just certain things he wasn't doing. Other 7-figure earners I talked to, they have these unrealistic fears that stop them from trying new things. And for me, because I don't have their specific fears, it doesn't make any sense to me. So I help them blast through it. But in realizing this, I have my own fears that have stopped me in the past, and I have to look at myself as a consultant and help myself blast through these fears. And this is why I've organized this call with you, for you in this webinar. This is going to be a powerful, powerful webinar that's going to help you identify, isolate, and overcome the fears that you're experiencing right now that are stopping you. And I guarantee, if you're not where you want to be in your business, if you're not experiencing the results of the financial gains that you want in your business, this webinar is going to help you identify what's really going on in your head and what you can do right now to start adjusting that so you can achieve that level of fearlessness in your business and start to achieve the results that you want in your life. This is going to be probably one of the most powerful calls that I do, and I'm so excited about what we've put together. So in order to register, you see the link below. And to keep this conversation rolling, what I want you to do is I want you to comment below. Let me know what the fears that you have been having that you feel have been stopping you from getting the results in your business that you want. I want to know that. Comment below, subscribe to the right, and as always, like and +1 above, and share this message of fearlessness with other network marketers out there, other business associates, with your downline, with your team. Because if they get this concept, if they get this down, they're going to become unstoppable in their recruiting, as you will be. And as always, I know you could have been anywhere in the world. You chose to spend the last 11 minutes with me here, and I do appreciate that. Take action now. Don't procrastinate. Don't put off. That's a form of fear. Do it now. Take the 2 minutes it takes to register down below. Make a comment. Click the link and register. It'll pop up in a new window. Comment below, subscribe to the right, and like and +1 above. And I'll see you in the next video. Definitely leave your comments. Let me know what your fears are so we can start addressing them here so you can push through to the next level. As always, take action on what we provide you here. Go out there and go close. Go implement and take action. Be fearless and go recruit. I'll talk to you soon.